All right, guys, let's talk about the East for a bit. There is a sponsor in this one. And to answer the title, who's the best team in the East? I mean, as of me doing this on January 16th, it feels like the one seed Pistons. I know that's a crazy take to say the team with the best record is the best team in the conference, but the Knicks have just not been good lately, especially on defense, including a blowout loss to the Pistons that we'll talk about in the Knicks section. Now, if Tatum comes back, the Celtics have been pretty tight-lipped about Tatum lately. Then that changes a lot of stuff. We'll talk my Celtics. Raptors, Sixers, Cavs, and Magic, too. And to start with the Pistons, they just had like a defensive battle of a fourth quarter against the Suns where they needed some Tobias Harris tough mid-rangers to kind of seal it. That wasn't the only thing late in the game. Jalen Duren is maybe the most important player in the league for me the rest of the season because I just keep asking myself, is Duren truly ready to be the second scorer on a hopeful finals team? I feel like this is really just going to come down to, can he beat opposing bigs in 1v1s? Because that's what a good amount of his plays end up being if it's not him finishing something or getting a lob or a putback or whatever. And when I see him in these 1v1s, like, hey, sometimes he's hitting DeAndre Ayton with a nice like spin move to get into a turnaround. Or I think he had a similar one like that against Mark Williams in their last one against the Suns. Mark Williams also was able to block him a couple times in the Suns game. I've already said the recent one against Miami, like him trying to take Bam off the dribble a couple times, like it was a mental note of like, I wish he looked a little better at this right now. Look, Duren for the season overall still been really good. He came out of the gates on fire, and you're still going to see moments of him just pulling off athletic plays where he's too big, too fast, whatever. But in a playoff series where a defense is going to collapse on you and whatever, I just want to see, can he consistently finish in those situations? Can he make the right passes out of those situations? And just how does he look when it's not him screening for Cade or just finishing plays that other guys create for him? And also, when he and Asar are in the game together, sometimes that floor can get a little too cramped. And he is still putting efficient games together, even if the points don't go crazy all the time. And the Pistons don't need him to drop like 20-something every game to win. Like, that's great. And I also don't want to not appreciate his growth and their growth this season. I mean, they got so good so fast that the convo now changes, where it's like, okay, can you go all the way? You could put Jaden Ivey in this as well as the other guy who could be the scorer, but I don't know. I just think it's going to be a season-long process with Ivey. And then, of course, it comes back to, will they make a deal? We'll see. MPJ would definitely help. Apparently, Trey Murphy's just not on the market at all, and Kobe White could be a nice buy low option. I will say, if you want to throw Tobias into any deal because of his big salary, I know it's Tobias. Like, he's probably the most overpaid player of the last, 10 years, but they don't have anybody else on the roster at that position who can actually make shots. Anyway, shout out Ron Holland and Beef Stew. Love those guys. Before we get back to it, this video is sponsored by SeatGeek. So the beauty of knowing barely anything about the NFL is I can just say the Texans have no chance against the Patriots this weekend, and I have no idea if that's a good take or not. It's probably not a good take. I figure once you get to round 2 of the NFL playoffs, at that point, pretty much everybody's really good. Regardless, if I wanted to go to that game, or any NFL playoff game, or any NBA game, sporting event, festival, concert, a whole bunch of things, you name it, then I would use SeatGeek, as I have in the past, and it's always been a good time. SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are over 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek. Every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee, and you can use my code FunkyDiabetic10 for 10% off your next order at SeatGeek. SeatGeek rates deals on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. Look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account. One more time, FunkyDiabetic10, 10% off, SeatGeek, and wherever you're going, have a nice time, man. Okay, next we go to the Knicks. The vibes are not great right now. Brunson's ankle injury is not too bad. He could be back in a little bit here, but 7-8 in their last 15. They're still a top 10 offense in that time. They are 29th in defense in their last 15 games. Like, oh my God. And I was so locked in for their game against the Pistons because I'm like, here we go. It was the showdown of the top 2 seeds in Detroit. Let's do this. And the Pistons just ran them out of the gym. And the 2 notes that I had, well, the 3 notes. Number 1, Cat. He was out there. There you go. Number 1, Cade is just so aware of, hunting the Brunson switch. And even if he doesn't get the switch, but it still makes Brunson, step up and then try to get back to his guy, and then it just puts the defense in rotation. And once you put this Knicks defense in rotation, if Mitch is not out there, you're probably going to score. I mean, OG can only do so much. And then my other feeling in that game was, as it was getting tough, in the third quarter when the Pistons were pulling away, it was just Brunson dribbling the air out of the ball so much, and it just didn't feel like there was a plan. So, okay. And then their other one that I wanted to make note of, partially because the Sixers, they're going in the right direction right now. Embiid's been playing. PG, we've gotten Maxey, PG, Embiid, VJ minutes. They could not guard anything in that Philly game. I mean, VJ and Maxey both were able to get Brunson on some stuff, whether it's going at him or putting him in the action. Embiid set a lot of great screens for those two. Some of them were illegal. They didn't all get called. It is the NBA. My big picture take on the Knicks is still the same thing. When Mitch is out there, that's their chance to be a good defense. I mean, even as it's been worse, way worse lately, in the last 15 games, when it's Mitch and Cat together, the defensive rating is still like 103. But Mitch can only play about half the game. Like, that's the most he's been able to play in this stretch throughout his whole career. For all the talk about Mike Brown having an offense that is supposed to be more of everybody touching the ball and stuff like that, listen, that's cool. Make yourself less predictable, or as much as you can, because I do think eventually in a crunch time game in the playoffs, they're going to be like, Brunson, please make a tough shot, but okay, fine. Everybody eventually becomes that. I feel like if Tibbs had Mitch as healthy this season, this team would be like the 11th best defense. Why? Because Tibbs just finds a way. I mean, he had him 14th last year, and Mitch was out for way more games than this season. And also, for all the stuff with the offense, I still feel like there is another level to the Brunson-Cat two-man game that has just not happened with these two since they started playing together. We'll just see. Knicks fans are not happy with Cat, what feels like at all lately. I mean, look, Cat can do some annoying stuff between offensive fouls and just random games where he's not very good. So that's the Knicks. I mean, I think they will continue to be like towards the top of the East all season. Next up, my Celtics. Anthony Simons, what the hell? Dude just had like a Steph Curry game against Miami. They needed it because the Celtics looked really bad in the first quarter, and they just slowly got back into the game. I think there's a debate on Celtics internet now of who should start between Simons and Pritchard. I mean, listen, Simons has been more efficient this year than Pritchard, but Pritchard has still been good, and he's obviously in their long-term plans, partially because his contract is so good. I mean, if they wanted to extend Simons, it would have to be at a lower number than it is now, and they'd also have to move off of probably other money, and then they'd probably start looking at Hauser. I don't know. We'll see what happens. You know, JB, he's fallen back down to earth a bit ever since that 50 game against the Clippers where that was like the crowning moment of his season, and since then, the turnovers have been a little up there, and some of the mid-range magic hasn't gone in as much. I don't know. Celtics are fine. Feeling better about the Keita, Garza center rotation by the day. And it feels like we're getting to the point where the possibility of Zubac moving is kind of low with the Clippers actually turning their season around. So I would take a cheaper center who just feels more reliable defensively than Garza for the playoffs, just to have that option there. And also if Tatum comes back, he can be a switchy help defense guy. So overall, we're doing okay. We were not supposed to be this good. And where I stand right now with the Pistons' questions about the scoring around Cade, more so for the playoffs than the regular season. They'll be fine in the regular season. And for as much trauma as the Knicks gave me for that round 2 matchup, their defense is still susceptible. If Tatum can come back and have enough time to be, let's just say, 70% Tatum, yeah, I'll probably pick the Celtics to make the finals. Okay, is that so wrong? Also, I love Derek White. I don't care what the shooting numbers are. We did get locked up by Wemby in that Spurs game, though. Like, Missoula was putting 5 shooters on the floor to force Wemby to guard somebody on the three-point line, and he was still cutting off the rim. It was crazy. Next up, the Raptors. They were 2-1 in games recently without RJ. We love that for them. Well, they just lost to the Clippers, so 2-2 recently. It's been a lot of CMB lately with Pirtle not playing. And for the season, CMB and Scotty have like a 101 defensive rating. That's already really good. If you go last like 10 or 15 games, it's even lower than that. Like those two do feel like just a hell of a defensive foundation for the next like 10 years with this team. I mean, they're 6th in defense overall, so they're pretty much already there. And of course, I haven't seen every game, but the ones I've been able to catch with CMB out there, I mean, I've seen him switch onto Paolo, switch onto Khan, or doing the Draymond thing against VJ in the Sixers game where like he steps up on him enough to get the pass out of VJ, and then he gets back to steal the lob pass. I do continue to enjoy the Raptors the most when a few of their role players are out there. I mean, sure, like the big picture convo with this team is, can they get like an elite offensive player, or does Scotty become that? Because I mean, Ingram and RJ are who they are, and IQ as well, but they're good. They ran into the buzzsaw of the Clippers last night, though. Shout out Jamal Shed. Next up, the Magic. You know, I probably have the least to say about the Magic right now. Franz just came back. We love that. Paulo did just recently have a game where he like only took threes, and he shot well from 3, and shots at the basket's like the dream shot chart for him. Franz and Mo are back. Suggs is out. Anthony Black keeps on scoring. I don't know, man. The only thing I ask is that they just get Desmond Bane moving on every single possession, because it's just a good way to just get the ball zipping around. Next up, the Cavs. So I wanted to be mostly optimistic, because Garland has looked better lately, looking fast around screens, getting downhill, and just going into the pull-up jumper. I mean, him and Mitchell being such a threat as pull-up shooters, I think was the foundation of their really good offense last year. Yeah, Mobley made a jump. Atkinson gave him more sets and had him playing more urgently, but just those two being such a threat all the time on pull-up jumpers, right? Well, then he just missed the last Philly game with some foot soreness, and I'm just like, please, no more. Sure, they could still use Strus. In general, their three-point shooting has just not been as good this year. Like, they were on fire from three last year. And Mobley didn't take another jump, but Garland is the big thing here. Although, as I say that, Jalen Tyson, like, wow, okay. If you saw the Philly game or just saw the highlights, you know. So we'll see if they can get it going in the second half of the season. Even if they do, people are still going to be skeptical of them all the way to the playoffs, and okay, fine. They got to prove otherwise. With a lot of that being, like, toughness, perimeter defense, that type of stuff. Now for Philly. So we've had some real minutes of PG, Embiid, Maxey, and VJ. The numbers say that we are approaching the Paul George role player era. When I actually look at the shots he's taking, it doesn't feel like that. Like, these are not role player shots that he is attempting. But he is taking less shots. Philly fans hate Nick Nurse. Joel's numbers continue to look good. Two of their recent things I saw, the fourth quarter against the Magic, where I did feel like their defensive intensity was pretty damn good. They also got helped by the Magic being the Magic on offense, but okay. But then there was that rough start versus the Cavs, not in the Jalen Tyson as Michael Jordan game, but the one before that one, where the Cavs got so many offensive rebounds in the first quarter, and a transition play where everybody's looking around, who's got the ball? Oh, Jared Allen's wide open. So I don't know. I mean, you could just chalk that one up to the Cavs shot well from three, the Sixers didn't, but like I said, I don't know what to expect from them over the next couple months. Health, execution, you get it.